Now I know it's been a minute, but we're back. And from the title alone, you should already know what type of timing I'm on with this one. This may sound a little OD, but it's time to let evil triumph. And I'm not talking anti-heroes or even villains winning a battle but still losing in the end. That's all Mickey. I'm talking about fully fledged out villains completely coming out on top. Like, nah, that's it. That's the story. And I really want y'all to grasp what I'm saying with this one. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, when I say villains need to come out on top more, I don't just mean to start having any random villain win, but villains with substance, good reasoning, or even ones who planned and thought everything through. Yeah, I for one would actually want to see them come out on top. But before y'all say I'm bugging, let me give y'all my reasons, or better yet, my criteria for this. So first off, yes, some villains be having very valid or relatable reasons. Like sometimes good enough to make you question whose side you should be on for real. So that's definitely one. Two would probably have to be the thorough planning that certain villains be doing. Like they really be cooking up. Keep in mind some plans be years into the making. And then three, I just love a realistic outcome. So if letting this specific villain win provides one, I'm all for it. And if not a realistic outcome, even just a shocking one would do just fine. I just feel like in real life, the good doesn't always prevail, so neither should it in certain shows. Alright, so I do feel like all my reasons are pretty self-explanatory already, so I want to do things a little bit differently today. Instead of breaking each reason down even further, I think it's better to just actually show y'all a few villains who overall, I would have been fine with winning. So boom, first we got Aizen. And all for it, I gotta say villains like f***ing Aizen are some of the most perfect candidates when it comes to which villain should be prevailing. Like he basically wrote the plot to Bleach the way he was scheming. So you mean to tell me Aizen, a nigga who's been watching Ichigo from birth, failed? I won't say it didn't make any sense, because he clearly was getting a little too cocky, but damn. Plus, at the end of the day, Bleach is a battle shonen. You're not typically gonna see the MC lose to a main villain like that, but Aizen does fit my criteria for the most part. Only real issue I had with him was I didn't think his reasoning was all that. Like, yeah, I know you want to become the Soul King, but he never really put into detail what exactly he was gonna do to change the Soul Society after becoming the Soul King, which is kind of crazy considering how much he yaps throughout the series.
How rude. I'm talking right now, Captain Kyoraku. I intend to continue talking.
Like, he would deadass outsmart you and then just go on and on about it. Like, we get it, gang, you got us. But yeah, I think I gotta leave that one yellow. It's valid enough, but he could have put us on more to what he was actually about to do. Especially the way he was yapping about everything else. Anyways, besides that though, I for one would have been fine with him just flat out winning. I mean, he already completed part of his goal, becoming one with the Hogyoku. Like, if you're gonna have him become immortal with that much power, he might as well win too. And bro, it's Aizen, so like, why not? I also feel like it would have provided Bleach with not only a surprising ending, but a legendary one. At least for battle shonen standards. Cause I fuck with Bleach, but the most interesting parts in my opinion was everything leading up to the big final battle with Aizen. Everything after his defeat is still good, but I think they could have ended with a higher note. Alright, next up we got Tetta Kisaki. Now I'm a little behind on Tokyo Revengers because they refused to dub it and called me stubborn, but if I started the show in one language, I like to continue it that way. So I'm like just now accepting defeat and actually catching up on the latest episodes via sub. But yeah, from what I've seen so far, Kisaki does fit most of my criteria. And I know people may not like that because I barely ever see Kisaki fans, but he got it as a villain. Like bro, look at his face. That smile just pisses you off. And I can't lie, around the third, fourth time Takamichi went back to the present, I was like, alright, maybe it's just not meant to be. I like Hina too, but I'm starting to lose motivation to save her, and I'm not even the one doing it. Even without watching a lot of isekai, I've seen enough regular time travel anime to know this was becoming excessive. And it's really crazy because Kisaki isn't even a crazy mastermind or anything, but for Tokyo Revenger standards, he was doing just fine. I mean, these are kids he's manipulating at the end of the day, but shit, he's one himself, so I can't even hate for real. Plus, kids or not, I'm def gonna question anyone who's constantly walking around like this.
Alright, we have something. Oh, nah. You a villain? What? No. Nah, you a whole villain. I can see it on your face. No, I can see the. No, you're not getting these. No!
Now, as for his reasoning, it was pretty lame, can't lie. He's crashing out over getting dubbed. Lame ass. And he might have had a better chance if he would just stop making that face. Like, why would you propose like that? Yo, guys be getting their heart broken one time as a kid and just be turning into full-blown menaces. I mean, I kind of feel him only because it's not like he got outshined by someone like Mikey or Dragon. It's Takamichi. People be respecting him for getting his ass whooped. So Hina picking him over you just means you really had to be ass. Which he was. He literally stood there like a bot while she was being picked on. I'm not fucking with you either. So I'm sure that's tough to cope with, but it's not excusing anything. And as for the type of ending him actually winning would provide, well, Tokyo Revengers is a battle shonen too, but I think it's the one I feel the strongest about doing something like this. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A lot of newer battle shonen has been able to come across way more mature, so it's appealing to all kinds of audiences. So I truly think they could have pulled off having a realistic outcome like that. But yeah, yo, I know everyone may not like it because it's Kisaki, but if he was able to come out on top, I wouldn't mind it. It would suck for Takamichi, but hey man, can't make everyone happy. Alright, let's move on to our next candidate. Now, while almost all the villains from Naruto have very valid reasons, I think Madara is the one I would feel the best about actually winning. Well, Sasuke too, but Madara, he really has green checks all across the board. So besides already having a very valid reason, which I'll get to in a second, I gotta say his planning was pretty up there too. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that part. Maybe because he did end up getting outsmarted himself, really due to plot, but I don't think that takes away from his thorough planning. Like, first of all, Obito should not have been that easily talked no jutsu'd. He literally tried to betray Madara out of nowhere. Like, you're telling me after clapping your own clan, attacking the village, offing the Hokage, aka your old sensei, not to mention his wife, and starting a war, all it takes is Naruto, a random kid, not even Kakashi, your old friend, to basically tell you to chill and you completely switch sides? That's literally just plot, bro. I'm sorry, but if he felt a way about Madara possibly manipulating him, we should have at least seen some type of doubt in him about his actions before the talk with Naruto. And then the talk with Naruto would just be giving him that extra push. So the only iffy part with the planning is the fact he got outsmarted by Zetsu, which I still think was a cop-out, but fuck it, it happened. Now going back to his reasoning, very, very valid. If me and a friend co-found a village, but his little brother keeps doing little funny racist shit towards me, I'ma def feel away. And then on top of that, your own people basically turn against you and say you're the one doing too much? Yeah, alright. Madara really just seen what Tobirama was trying to do from a mile away. So after that, Madara basically said he's gonna do things his own way, which led to him casting the Infinite Tsukuyomi, which is actually the most controversial thing about Madara to me. I've always seen both sides of it because yeah, I get it, the Tsukuyomi is taking away the option of free will and draining their chakra until they're white Zetsus, but he didn't know about that last part until way later. So to be honest, since when is putting people in their best possible dream really all that villainy? In my eyes, Madara is really just an extremist. At the end of the day, he wanted to achieve true peace in the shinobi world. He just took very rash actions to get there. Oh, and as far as the type of ending him winning would provide, it's like I said with Bleach, but times 10. Because I know the little Kaguya reveal was setting up Boruto, but one, I don't even watch Boruto, and two, it just felt kind of cheap and rushed. It just felt out of place, so I for one could have done without it. And last but not least, we got possibly the best villain on here. Shogo Makishima was something different. He was standing on business, just really doing some devious shit that just makes you say, yo, this is a villain. And it's just like, I can't even be mad at him for real, because besides just looking good, I really see him as a top tier villain. His reasoning was beyond justified. Not gonna lie, I could make a whole separate video on how ass the Sybil system really is. But to keep it short and sweet, the Sybil system is something that is heavily dependent on in the Psycho-Pass universe. It does everything, but yet has so many flaws. Now, regardless of Makishima's personal issues, he's seen the system for what it was. They're letting a f***ing computer determine way too much. Like, I got a little more upset than usual, and now I'm a leading criminal? That's OD. You can literally experience some sort of emotional trauma and they're instantly sending you to the mental hospital, or just offing you just because you're too much of a possible threat. There's way more to it, but just off that alone, I was already on his side. It's really a terrible way to govern. So through planning and manipulation, he exposes time and time again how the system is just flawed. basically planting the seeds of doubt in the public's head about the system they heavily rely on. Now, as for the type of ending him prevailing would provide, well, first off, let me say, I f with Psycho-Pass, but after season 1, I dropped it. Season 2 just wasn't hitting, so that's even more of a reason why he should win. But besides that, Psycho-Pass is a seinen, so having an ending where the villain comes out on top would just be like the icing on the cake. But yeah, yo, I just wanted to discuss something that clearly a lot of anime are afraid to do. And trust me, I get the not wanting a villain to win in standard battle shonen. The attendant audience is probably not going to want to see their favorite hero get beat by a villain. But once we get into other demographics and genres, that's a different story. I've just always felt like all stories don't need a happy ending. You can still have a good story where the hero doesn't prevail, especially in the more realistic type anime. Shit, I wouldn't even mind if villains who are just evil to be evil come out on top here and there. Being a hero is overrated anyways. Nah, but for real, I really want to know what some other villains y'all wouldn't have minded seeing win. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
Now he has to overcome another obstacle. So I'm gonna support him, I'm gonna lift him up, and I'm gonna be there for him. Because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person, and that's all I have to say to address him.